Hello, everyone. I'm Sasha, and I work as a senior product designer for the managed compliance team. I will quickly talk about how Raycast can boost your productivity. So as a side note, this is super improvised. I did not prepare this. So Raycast is a fast and extendable launcher. Think of it as Alfred on steroids, I would say, if you're familiar with Alfred, or as your Spotlight replacement on your Mac. So in general, it looks like this, so it opens like this window, and you can do a bunch of cool stuff. So for example, you can do calculations. So you can do 100 plus 200 divided by 3, and it just does calculations. You can also do time zones. So if I say, I don't know what my time zone would be in San Francisco. So I can say in San Fran, and I see, okay, 4 p.m. my time is 8 a.m. In San Francisco, which I use, spoiler alert, a lot since I work at GitLab, because we have so many time zones. So that's very handy. You can also do calculations, for example, to, I don't know, currency changes. So I can say 100 Swiss francs in US dollars. So this is what 100 Swiss francs are in US dollars, and so on. So it's a powerful tool. You can do file searches. For example, I can do file search for GitLab, and then it gives me a bunch of stuff, and I can open folders and so on and so forth, which is pretty cool. And then it has a GitLab integration, which is pretty neat. And I think this is one of the powerful tools I use to boost my productivity. So I can open it to see my open reviews. So it shows the open reviews, which are assigned to myself. I see I have one here. I can press enter, and I can even see the details of that merge request here in this window. And then I just can open it in the browser, and then voila, I'm at this merge request, for example. I can also see my open merge requests, also the detail of them as well. I can see my to-dos, for example, as well. You get the idea, right? I can also browse my starred projects and then go into a project, seeing issues, open an issue, and have all the details of that issue right here. So it's a tool which is for me, for myself, for my workflow, really boosts my productivity. I can search Figma files. So if I remember I worked on HTTP headers, I can search for HTTP, and then I see, in compliance build, I have this. I can press enter, and then, Figma opens that right file for me. That works as well. It has also neat integration for the Pajamas design system. Well, that's an extension I wrote myself, and it's currently in review, so it will be published in a few days, hopefully. So I can search for the Pajama design system. If I want to search for a button, I can search for a button, press enter, and it opens the design system for me, which is pretty handy. Also, if you want to search the handbook, right, that's also part of my extension. I can search for PTO, for example, or I don't know, anything else, like the equipment, for example. So I see, home office equipment, press enter, and it opens the handbook page. You get the idea, right? There are a ton of extensions. It has a built-in store, so you can open the store and install something. Let's install, for example, Google Search. So I have Google Search here. I can install this extension. And now the cool thing is, I now have Google Search here. Now I can search for Raycast, for example, and I have autocomplete or suggestions here. I can press enter, and then it opens the Google search for me. But it doesn't stop there. You can also add shortcuts. For example, I have assigned multiple shortcuts. I have one shortcut to open this very neat emoji finder. I have another shortcut to change my wallpaper because I regularly get bored by my wallpaper. So I have one assigned to change the wallpaper. And you can just like define everything in the extension. So you can put an alias to any of the commands or a hotkey, which is like a keyboard shortcut, right? Yeah, there are a ton of extensions, as I mentioned, a ton of flexibility, tons of integrations. And for me, this tool was a replacement for Alfred, which was already productivity booster. But now with Raycast, this is on a whole new level. So, you know, it's a very time saver for my own workflow. Yes, that's basically it for my lightning talk. Do you have any questions? Let me.
Yes, I see a read-only going in, but I see Pedro actually without a read-only preface. I will say, by the way, this is not a sponsored advertisement for Raycast.
No.
But thank you for sharing that. Pedro, do you want to go ahead and we've got just a couple minutes. We got a couple of questions already going in. So go ahead, Pedro.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sasha. This was amazing. I had already heard about Raycast for a couple of years. And I'm a long-time Alfred user. So, you know, migration, it's doing what I want. So how can you convince me to switch to, other than your extension, of course, what do you think are the main advantages of Raycast over Alfred?
Yes, I'm also like a long-standing Alfred user, and I contributed quite a lot of workflows to Alfred. Like for me personally, it took like 10 minutes to switch over, and I never looked back because of like the rich integrations. I think like the GitLab integration for its own is worth switching to Raycast. You know, like finding issues, looking for you open, you know, like merge requests or like the ones which are in review. This is such a productivity boost for my workflow, which is worth it. But as you can assign any global shortcut to it, you can also use both. Why not using both, right? So yeah, that would be my elevator pitch. Like, you know, try it, install some extensions, and you see like the rich extension it has is so superior to what Alfred offers. Yeah, so that was basically for me a no-brainer to switch over.
Cool, I'll give it a try. You're right, trying it is better than nothing, and it's free. So thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Justin.
So I was just wondering, I had similar questions that Pedro had when you announced this on Slack a couple of weeks ago, but all those extensions you were showing on accessing GitLab, are those extensions that you had to put in, or are those something that you can currently get?
These are all available in the built-in store. So the cool thing about Raycast is it has a built-in store where you can just browse all the extensions available. Which is different to Alfred, which does not offer that, right? So you have a built-in store and it has a ton of extensions. You just go to an extension, say install, and then it's available. You know, some extension might require you to, I don't know, like provide your credentials or something. You know, for example, the 1Password integration, you need to like some configuration upfront. Others just work out of the box when you install them. But yeah, you can fine tune everything with like these aliases and the global shortcuts to them as well. So yeah, it's all available within Raycast. Does that answer your question? All right.